Friends, alumni, and members of our community joining us from all over the world, welcome to the University of the Incarnate Word's Leadership Appreciation event. I'm Tom Evans, president of this great institution. Thank you for joining us for this special presentation, a first of its kind. While the year has presented us with challenges and changes, it also provided us the opportunity to develop innovative ways of coming together as we are here today. It has also shown that we are as deeply rooted and as dedicated as ever to our purpose and our mission. For generations, our institution has been shaping students of great promise, forming them in our core values of education, truth, faith, service, and innovation to make positive impacts on the world. We've seen those impacts firsthand and countless times. We see it in our UIW-educated teachers who channel their innovation to reach their students, whether in class or at home. We see it in nurses, pharmacists, and healthcare professionals who serve throughout our region and who look to the UIW values of service and faith to elevate the health and well-being of those they care for. We see it in leaders in math and the sciences whose quests for truth guide them through research to make remarkable discoveries, and in the business professionals who lean on their exceptional UIW education to become the entrepreneurial minds that lead organizations into the future. I could go on and on. Throughout our presentation, you will hear from some phenomenal students about the impact that UIW has made in their lives, their hopes for the future, and how your support empowers them to be the kind of transformational leaders that the world needs now more than ever. You will also hear from university leaders, educators, alumni, and friends about what our university community means to them and why they choose to support our students through critical scholarships and key opportunities. There may yet be many firsts for our students and our institution, but your continued partnership helps ensure that they will be uniquely poised to respond to the needs of a fast-changing world and lift people's lives in the process. As is our custom at the University of the Incarnate Word, let us begin with a prayer.
Let us bless and praise the Incarnate Word, the fountain of all goodness. Blessed be God now and forever. All that God has created and sustains, all the events He guides, and all human works that are good and have a good purpose, prompt those who believe to praise and bless the Lord with hearts and voices. He is the source and origin of every blessing. By this celebration, we proclaim our belief that all things work together for the good of those who love God. We are sure that in all things we must seek the help of God, so that in complete reliance on His will, we may in Christ do everything for His glory. A reading from the first letter of Paul to Timothy. For everything created by God is good, and nothing is to be rejected when received with thanksgiving, for it is made holy by the invocation of God in prayer. Let us pray. Almighty Father, you are lavish in bestowing all your gifts, and we give you thanks for the favors you have given us. In your goodness you have favored us and kept us safe in the past. We ask that you continue to protect us and to shelter us in the shadow of your wings. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
My name is Dr. Chris Alvarado. I graduated from the University Incarnate Word Fike School of Pharmacy, class of 2010, the inaugural class. I'm 51 years old and I've been wanting to be a pharmacist since I was very little. So I was in my mid-30s when I found out about the Fike School of Pharmacy and got more information, and here I am. I went to a larger university and I was in a class with hundreds of people, and I didn't do well because I didn't feel, I felt like I was 1 in 100, 1 in 200 in some of these classes. And at University Incarnate Word, I was 1 in 30, 1 in 40, and I definitely enjoyed the time I had with my professors. And I think that made me a little bit more responsible to being there and doing my best. So when I graduated, I was working for Oakdale Pharmacy. Now I'm currently with HEB Pharmacy. They're a really strong, caring company. I really enjoy working for them. Definitely giving back. Definitely giving back to the university. They gave me so much. I don't have children, so my students are my children, or they're my mentees. I get the student for about 3 weeks, and these are students that are first years or second years that are just getting their feet wet about pharmacy. So they'll be with me at the pharmacy and learn how to take prescriptions, learn how to give vaccinations, learn how to work with people, learn how to work with customers, so that when they're out in the real job, they already have some experience. At the Fike School of Pharmacy, I created the Dr. Alvarado Pharmacy Advocacy Scholarship. again, to a student that gets involved, to be an advocate for their profession. They mentor students, they speak to their representatives, speak to their senators, get involved again with the organization and get others involved.
My name is Veronica Recio. I am a class of 2022 PharmD candidate from Pike Pharmacy School. I had already done the big university, so I wanted to be a little bit versatile, and I thought, okay, now is my opportunity to go to a little bit of a smaller school and kind of build that networking with a one-on-one relationship. And after speaking to some mentors, they recommended UIW. Specifically, my mentor is Dr. Christopher Alvarado. I was honored enough to work for him at Oakdale Pharmacy before I actually came to UIW. I felt like I was too old to come back. I had taken a very long leave of absence after I finished my undergrad, and Dr. Alvarado was constantly like, you need to go back, you know, you're not done. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm done, sir. I was like, I'm fine, you know, we'll make it. And he was like, no, try. And I'm like, no, I'm too old. I would say it took me a whole year to play catch up, but I'm so grateful for him just constantly not letting me give up on myself. I'm gonna be very honest, especially right now in light of COVID, my fiance was let go. So with the scholarships that I was given, I have been able to help keep us afloat, you know, as a family and still maintain my grades. And it's those that I rely on so that I can be more involved and give back to the community. We've gone to the border, we've done immunizations, we did Operation Christmas. We basically send gift boxes off to children in like South Africa, South America. I don't feel like you can get that everywhere, and the Pike Pharmacy strives so much on helping everybody and anybody. I mean, we even give out to the animal shelters. So it's just nice to build those relationships and have the opportunities to go out into the community and really do what we're meant for.
My name is Tiffany Carnes, and I am an alumna of the Pike School of Pharmacy, class of 2019. When I was 16, I began working as a pharmacy technician at Eckerd Pharmacy, and it was located directly across the street from the high school, and so I would see all of my patients were my teachers, faculty, and friends, and that's where I really fell in love with the pharmacy profession, getting to take care of them. So I was working here as a technician, and we would always have pharmacist interns coming through and from all over Texas, really, and we'd always get UIW students, and they just raved about the program. So I decided to check it out myself, and I went and I scheduled a tour, got to meet the faculty, and I just fell in love, and I knew for certain that's where I wanted to be. The Office of Student Affairs, the faculty there, Dr. Diepenbrock and then Miss DeCiana and Miss Hernandez were just lifesavers on a daily basis. If I ever needed anything or if I needed some reassurance, they were always there to help guide me. I would say that UIW definitely influenced my path. It really directed my trajectory because of the way that we would be able to weave faith into our studies. After the Pike School of Pharmacy, upon graduation, I ended up signing on with an independent community pharmacy, which is Good Life Pharmacy, and then I became the pharmacist in charge as well as co-owner. I created the Carnes Compass Scholarship in order to invest in the next generation of pharmacists. I was very involved in an organization called the American Pharmacists Association as a student, and it was there where I was able to discover my potential, really. I was able to see the different facets of pharmacy, and it was so enriching for me that I wanted to provide that opportunity for other student pharmacists as well.
I'm Dr. Barbara Aranda Naranjo. I am the Chief Academic Officer and Provost at the University of the Incarnate Word. I'm a graduate of the University of Incarnate Word when it was Incarnate Word College Nursing School. What I remember about Incarnate Word was the relationship with your faculty and the relationship with your advisors. And so both Sister Mona and Dr. Hurley not only cared about what my vocation and what my degree was in, but they cared about me as a person and about my family. After I got my degree at Incarnate Word, I did go on to pursue my PhD in nursing. At that time, there were very few Hispanic nurses who had masters and even fewer who had doctorates. So that seed planted here really pointed my career in service to community health and in minority populations. The AIDS pandemic in the 80s had a great impact on my nursing career. So I began doing service with young men living with AIDS here in San Antonio, and then moved on to serve children and families living with HIV and AIDS at the Health Science Center while I was working on my doctorate. And after doing that for about 10 years in service with AIDS, I wanted to come back to teach, to really impart what I was learning to the next generation of nurses. So I came back to Incarnate Word and so began teaching both undergraduate and graduate. And from there, got a call from the federal government if I would work with HIV/AIDS at the national level, and I stayed working with the AIDS pandemic, both local and international, for about 15 years. I enjoy, as an academician, working with students because in the process of teaching, you learn from your students, and both the student and you yourself as a professor, as a teacher, are changed. And part of what is valuable to me at Incarnate Word as a professor is both the formation and the transformation that happens. And that is, I believe, for many of our faculty, the greatest joy of teaching is to see that transformation in your students, but also how it transformed you as a teacher. The impact of scholarship for our students is critical. Many of our students come from lower socioeconomic, and so both the package that the Incarnate Word pulls together for their financial aid and scholarship is critical for them to come into college and to continue. Scholarship gives them the opportunity to not take so much debt, but also it says to them, we believe in you. And I think that's important for students starting their journey. Never did I think that I would be managing all the HIV/AIDS programs in the United States, but the belief from your faculty, from your advisors, and the scholarships that you receive help build that belief in yourself, and also motivates you to reach out beyond your own community. And when your country calls or when your community calls, that you're able to say yes. And that's the impact, scholarships and getting our Incarnate Word students graduated in the professions and the vocations they've chosen, because they can change the world.
My name is Jacqueline Moreno, and I am a sophomore majoring in business administration with a concentration in management and pre-pharmacy with a minor in biology.
I'm a class of 2023 rehab science major.
Business administration with a concentration in accounting.
Junior biochemistry major.
And I'm a sophomore mechanical engineering major.
I am a clinical teacher here at UIW.
I'm a student at UIW during my clinical teaching semester.
I'm a graduating senior and I'm studying accounting and pre-law.
I chose to attend UIW largely in part because my older brother also attended UIW for his undergraduate and graduate studies. Having him as a person and a resource to go to for advice on classes, professor recommendations, directions on campus, truly anything, was something that I really valued as a student. Besides my relationship to the school through my brother, I also decided to attend UIW because of my current aspirations to go to pharmacy school.
Actually, when I was at a leadership conference for USA Swimming, I met a friend there, and he was part of the UIW swim team. And I just reached out to the head coach here, and he called me and set up a recruiting trip. And when I came here, I immediately fell in love with how beautiful this campus is and how welcoming all my teammates were. And they set me up with some academic advising appointments while I was here on my trip. And I fell in love with the rehab science program and all the opportunities that it offered and how well it set me up for grad school in the future.
Was unsure where I wanted to go, and I of course had visited here, and they really made a big impact on the 5 core values of UIW, and faith is one that really stuck out to me. My name is Imani, and in Swahili that means faith. I was driving in New Orleans visiting some family, and I was praying. I said, God, just give me a sign. And there was literally a sign in a suburb outside of New Orleans that said Incarnate Word Drive. And I just think God literally gave me a sign that it said Incarnate Word Drive.
It had the Catholic foundation that I was looking for in a university. Attending a public school my entire life, I really wanted to go to a private Catholic university. It also had a great engineering program that I was really interested in.
They gave me an opportunity to continue playing basketball. Second, I really love the business curriculum, and I got an academic scholarship to come here. Alongside with that, when I visited, I really love the campus.
It's in the heart of San Antonio. I was born and raised here, and I just love how it's Right by downtown, I love the culture.
Anyone you meet, anyone you go to on campus will take time out of their day to give you any tool that you need that'll push you towards success.
The Cardinal pride in the family, it's unreal. The small class sizes, I love that I'm not a number and that my professors really know me, and I've been able to develop a relationship with multiple professors, Dr. Edmond, Dr. Driscoll, Dean Scott, and they've really mentored me through my experience in my 4 years here, and just the wisdom that they've given and the life experiences. It's just been a phenomenal experience here.
As a student and a future healthcare personnel, I made a really great connection to the mission, especially the words of Bishop Du Bois.
That's like my whole career path, is to serve others, and that's my goal. Family, like, they're always there to support me and guide me and push me towards success. Innovation, like my whole entire career path, is hopefully trying to design like a scoliosis brace that's more effective. And faith is a really important part of my life because it's there like in the darkest times, and it's there to make the joyous times even better, and you can always lean on it. And the last one, education, honestly just opens up like the possibilities of the world and introduces me to new ideas and philosophies that I can keep like pushing myself to be a better person in the world.
I love giving back to the community. I believe it's something very important, and I try to incorporate that in my classrooms with my students, giving back to people in need.
I had an opportunity for the last 2 years to serve as the Student Government Attorney General, where I work as a liaison between the student body and administration to address any student concerns. And my favorite part of the UIW mission actually is cultivating the development of the whole person through lifelong learning. So with being Attorney General, we've been able to address food insecurity on campus with the Cardinal Cup Board, diversity and equity and inclusion efforts, and being a part of that conversation and having those uncomfortable conversations about race, and then international funding.
Right now, I am the Senior Athlete Director for the Central Zone in USA Swimming, and I've been able to host a leadership workshop for about 15 states in the Midwest for all the athletes there. It's just a great opportunity to be able to present and teach things that I've learned at UIW to just a bunch of other athletes younger than me so they can be successful in their future too.
I volunteer at the San Antonio Children's Hospital. In the summers, I also volunteer with the Houston Rockets youth program. And it really means a lot to me to give back, because when I was growing up, I had a lot of mentors who gave back to me.
In addition to altar serving, I also serve as a peer mentor for the Cardinal Chemistry Scholars Program. Through that, I was able to guide many prospective chemistry or biochemistry students towards their degree plan.
I'm currently student teaching at a high school. I would love to keep doing that. Teaching high schoolers, it's not for everyone, but it is for me.
My current aspirations are to attend pharmacy school, and more specifically to become a clinical pharmacy specialist in critical care.
Well, my ultimate goal is to get certified as a prosthetist and orthotist, and then use my leadership skills and hopefully my business minor degree to open up my own practice one day.
So after UIW, I have accepted a job to go work at Ernst & Young, so I'm really excited about that. Shortly after that, I hope to obtain my MBA and then work in investment banking and private equity.
I benefited from the teacher education program and from the music program at UIW in all the ways imaginable. I came here just a girl with a pretty voice, and I'm leaving here a full teacher and musician equipped to pass on those skills to other people.
I'm fortunate to be graduating debt-free, so scholarships have played a huge role in my life.
I feel like a scholarship shows a lot of belief. Even if someone is struggling to believe in themselves, a scholarship shows that someone else believed in them, which can really go a long way.
My swimming scholarship ultimately allows me to continue my dream of swimming and doing what I love, as well as my academic scholarship made it very affordable to come here as a small Catholic university.
So as an international student, I can really say that if it wasn't because of all the donors and all the financial help available through academic and also fine arts and music scholarships, I would not be here without all that. It would not have been a possibility for me to go to college here without their generosity.
I'm Elda Martinez. I'm the Director of Teacher Education and a professor in the Teacher Education program. I taught for 10 years in San Antonio ISD, and during that time I was able to work with pre-service teachers, student teachers, those getting ready to teach. Really found that work rewarding. And so when I had the opportunity to step away from the classroom, that was a hard decision to make. Coming to UIW allowed me to continue doing what I found most valuable, working in our community schools, working with families in our community, working in a small environment where I would still get to know my students and get to know them well. And then the mission of the university aligns with all of that. We often reflect back on our origin story. Young sisters coming to meet the needs of the community, coming to minister to the medical needs of the community. But then they saw the social and educational needs and they continued that work. We do that in our education program. We extend that story. We continue to develop young teachers who are going to go out and minister to the needs of their communities, not just the academic, but the social and the emotional. And so a few years ago, we started the UIW Teacher Network, our induction program. We know nationally that 50% of teachers leave within the first 5 years. We're doing a lot of investment into our teachers and we know that they want to be successful. So the induction program allows us to extend our support into their classrooms during those first few years of independent teaching. We have professional development, we have networking opportunities, and we have on-site support. So an induction coordinator who will go into their classrooms, who will continue observing them or observing students, who will meet with them to help them and address the unanticipated.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, teaching has changed radically. I not only have to pay full attention to the students that are in person, but also the ones that are online. And teaching music online is a journey in and of itself. But I was extremely prepared because the UIW education program taught me all the necessary tools I needed to navigate both online and in-person settings with fluency so that I could focus more on my students' well-being and not so much on what I'm doing in the classroom.
I'd say the most challenging thing teaching both in class and distance is finding lessons, activities that can meet and cater both students. It has to be engaging because if not, they're not learning, they're not focused, and I understand all the different backgrounds that they come from. They're at home, they have siblings, pets, dogs barking in the background. So having to cater that and understand it and be patient, I would say that's the hardest thing.
Clinical teachers that were out in the field last year that are out in the field this year, we didn't prepare them for this, at least not intentionally. We couldn't have anticipated that this was going to happen, so how could we have said, here's a class on pandemic teaching? So what we did is we focused on how to teach the kids before you in the situations that come. How do you anticipate the unanticipated? You just can't do that, so you focus on what's really important. What we've witnessed is that they have the perseverance and the dedication and the commitment to figure it out.
I'm Dr. Elvira Canales Burns, and I'm an alumni of the nursing class of 1976. Since I had seen my mother care for my grandfather who had terminal lung cancer, in our home, it just made me realize what nursing was about, I think, at a personal level, and so I wanted to pursue that. My mother was a very strong woman. There were 8 kids, and then she had her parents to take care of for quite a while too. She was just the backbone of the family, and she passed away in October last year, and she was very proud of that scholarship. Well, I feel very fortunate that I had opportunities during my life to have the career that I did, and I just want to offer that opportunity to other students.
I'm Gabriel Duran Hollis. I'm an architect, and my relationship to Incarnate Word is because of my daughter. Natalie is an RN. She is working at Methodist Hospital here in San Antonio. You know, as a parent, you've seen your child grow since being an infant, but professionally, as Natalie went through school here at UIW and went through her internship at the hospitals, she came into contact with other students in which you could immediately see the difference between the training and knowledge of other students versus what Natalie had learned. I am so proud that Natalie would be the leader when someone is bleeding or somebody is having a psychotic episode, that she could be calm and do what needed to be done. I think that's a testament to the training that Natalie got here at UIW. You know, when I first joined the development board, I didn't know all of the things that we did. And I think that over the years, I've learned to deeply appreciate that it's not just scholarships, The board has a constant contact through the president and other members of the development board of what UIW is up to. We learn about each of the disciplines, including the new School of Medicine and Founders Hall across the street. Knowing and having that contact with the university is really important. If you're newly graduated and maybe you're not in a position to contribute thousands of dollars or something like that, join us anyway. Come over and see what we do and see if it is something that speaks to the passion of what you experienced at UIW. There's got to be a generation of folks that graduated 3, 5, 10 years ago that would be ready to either join the development board or be there or show up to something. And then if you're a little more established, we're doing something important here that is not just transforming young lives. UIW is making a tremendous impact in San Antonio.
I think it's important for not only legacy, but important as examples that we give back, because all of us have been helped by someone. And so my husband and I and my family believe in giving back. And that's part of service to our community and service to the next generation.
The legacy that I want to leave on UIW is ultimately the idealization that with a strong community behind you and hard work, anything is possible. If you have a dream and you have those two things behind you, you can achieve whatever you want.
I hope that after a couple years, I can pay it forward and help students out the same way that I was helped out.
A legacy of fearlessness. I would love to make sure that all our Cardinals know when you come here, anything's possible.
So many times, students don't even consider a private school education because they don't think it's accessible. Having donors, having scholarships, having financial aid opportunities makes it accessible.
My dad always tells me you can't take it with you, so put it into something that's going to benefit society. I feel like we need to keep that domino effect going, and I hope that someday we will be the ones to turn around.
Thank you is not even enough. I feel like those two words don't even explain the gratitude I have for those scholarships, and thank you for providing me an opportunity that's invaluable, allowing me an experience that I will never forget, and allowing me to learn so much, and like our mission says, developing the whole person.
Thank you for your kind and generous hearts, because your scholarship has definitely made a direct impact on me, because not only am I gaining the hours that I need to go to grad school, but I'm also gaining crucial experiences and skills that I need to be successful in my post-professional life. So thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to be well-rounded people in the future.
I was provided with an opportunity of a lifetime. I learned a wealth of knowledge, and I'm able to take my experiences here and impact the next community that I'll be going to. And I think creating an opportunity for our students to be able to flourish and take what's here and go make something bigger and make our university proud is just the beginning.
There are so many things that we can do with our gifts and talents, but I think if this one speaks to your passion of transforming young lives to serve humanity, this is a good place to do it.
As you have heard, providing access to an exceptional education at the University of the Incarnate Word transforms the lives of our students, their families, and members of our larger community. You've also heard of the profound impact that scholarships have on students' unique higher education journeys. Scholarships open the door to important opportunities that might otherwise be out of reach, enrich their academic experience, and help usher them into the professional world where they may be of most service. There's so much to look forward to at UIW. I often say that we are the most exciting university in North America, and with good reason. We continue to make progress toward developing Founders Hall and on renovations on our Broadway campus. We are creating new academic offerings that lean on our 20 years in online excellence and bring together students from UIW campuses in the US and Mexico and potentially all over the world. And we are perpetually working to create more innovative pathways to student success. With your partnership, we are living out the mission that the Sisters of Charity of the Incarnate Word established 140 years ago. On behalf of the University of the Incarnate Word, thank you for your generosity, your partnership, and your faith in our students and their great potential to enact positive change in the world. Praised be the Incarnate Word.